Are you thinking about moving to Houston, Texas, and you're looking for that perfect master plan neighborhood? Maybe you've heard about them. Maybe you've even seen some of our videos explaining these really lush, well laid out neighborhoods that have everything. We're talking parks, we're talking water parks, pools, playgrounds, splash pads, hike and bike trails, lakes, and you name it. Even commercial amenities located right in the neighborhoods like grocery stores or sporting goods stores, or even just your favorite local restaurants. Well, when I was looking to move back to Houston 5 years ago, that was exactly what I was looking for. And ultimately, I found the perfect master plan neighborhood for me and my family. And so in today's video, what I wanted to do was I wanted to walk you through all of the reasons I chose to move to Grand Central Park. If you're not familiar with Grand Central Park, it is a 2,054 acre master planned community located right off the freeway in Conroe, Texas. And when you're comparing it to other master plan communities here around the Houston area, I will say that in my opinion, it checks almost every single box. At least it did for my wife and I when we decided to purchase out here. And it's come a long way in the past 5 years. We really bought in early to the vision of what it was gonna be, and now it's really taken shape, and it really has lived up to what we thought it was going to be, and actually even more than what we thought it was going to be. And so in today's video, I'm gonna walk you through all of the reasons I personally chose to live right here in Grand Central Park in Conroe, Texas. You're gonna wanna stick around because I'm gonna tell you some things about this neighborhood that I guarantee you don't know, and it might move the needle for you if you are looking to move right here to the Houston area. So stick around and let's get after it right now. So before we dive into my first reason as to why my family and I chose to move to Grand Central Park, let me get you up to speed if you're not already familiar. Now, I'm not gonna tell you everything there is to know about Grand Central Park in this video. I'm gonna tell you why I moved here. We do have another vlog on Grand Central Park after this video. Be sure to check it out. It will tell you literally everything you need to know, more than anybody else will be able to tell you, because I've lived here for 5 years and sold over 30 homes here. Now, the reason that we decided to move here, the first reason, the thing that really caught our attention and drew us to this is I was actually born and raised here in Conroe. I'm 5th generation, and I grew up in a neighborhood right across the freeway from where Grand Central Park is now located. But when I grew up, this neighborhood was not Grand Central Park. In fact, it wasn't a neighborhood at all. It was woods. And so growing up here, where Grand Central Park is located, it was actually a Boy Scout camp called Camp Strake for over 75 years. And so as you're exploring this whole North Houston area and you fall in love with the pine trees, there are not better pine trees than I've found in this neighborhood, unless you go up to maybe the National Forest. And so what I thought was so cool about it was hiding in plain sight. I had never been to the Boy Scout camp before. And so as soon as I heard that they were developing it, I was like, that's pretty interesting. So my wife and I, we actually sold a home to my mother who was buying out here, and we came in town to explore, and we fell in love with the place. And so we decided that this is where we wanted to start our family. So we moved from Austin 5 years ago, and we bought our first house here inside of Grand Central Park. And when we moved in early, we really bought into the vision of what it was going to be. There really weren't all of these cool amenities. None of the commercial shopping was in place. We really just knew that it was a great location and that we loved the nature. And so reason number one that we chose to move here was the nature component. When you drive into this neighborhood, especially if you go over to the lakes that have been here forever, they've got an 88 acre lake, a 12 acre lake, a 3 acre lake, a 5 acre lake, another 12 acre lake. And so as you come into the neighborhood and you go to that kind of wild side that they've kind of left preserved, I fell in love with that. So I love fishing. They've got some of the best bass fishing lakes for residents only located right here in the neighborhood. And so we really fell in love with that nature component. Some of the lots here in the neighborhood also give you the opportunity to live right on the trail. So we live on the hike and bike trail. We open up our back gate, and I'm a 4-minute walk down to one of the major lakes here in the neighborhood. So as the kids get older, we're able to take them down there, go fishing. And so it really is gorgeous. You also have the opportunity to back up to green belts here. Now, not all of the lots are gonna back up to trees, but that was important to us. And so that really drew us to this neighborhood. So I would say reason number one was gonna be the nature component. Now, reason number two that we moved here is also very important to me. whenever I thought we were gonna move back to Houston, part of me had it in my brain that we were gonna move to the Woodlands. And the Woodlands has a lot going for it. It obviously has some of the best shopping in the entire Houston area. It's a destination shopping area. But one of the things that I liked about Grand Central Park was its location, because it's actually only 7 exits north of the Woodlands Mall, but it's located in Conroe. But what I like about it is it's right along I-45. So it's just on the west side of Interstate 45, right at the corner of Loop 336. And so you really are getting the best of both worlds. You're a 10-minute drive to everything that the Woodlands has to offer, but you're not stuck in the congestion that is the Woodlands. The Woodlands is great, but every single day at 3 p.m., because all the schools are located in the Woodlands, traffic just backs up. You might be stuck behind a bus for 20 minutes. And so being able to go 80 miles an hour to my exit, make a U-turn, not hit a single light, and pull into my neighborhood and eventually my house was ideal for me. And so really, I love the location here. It puts you in a great proximity to not only the Woodlands for great shopping, but we're about 7 minutes from downtown Conroe. And so if you haven't explored downtown Conroe, it's being revitalized. It's actually really cool. Downtown Conroe has been around since the late 1800s, but recently more and more developers have come in and really revitalized the space. You've got breweries, you've got restaurants down there, and it just seems like every week there's a new grand opening. And so you're about 7 minutes from all of that right here in Grand Central Park. Now, another cool thing that I like about the location here is gonna be your proximity to the lake. So I love going out to Lake Conroe, so you've got a short drive out there as well. So it's a fantastic location, and ultimately, for me being as mobile as I am, helping clients look all around the Houston area, it was really important for me to have direct access to the freeway. Now, the third reason that we bought out here was the commercial amenities, meaning all of the commercial shopping. So whenever you're looking to buy a home, a lot of times you're just focused on the house itself or maybe even the neighborhood, but nothing is more convenient than being able to walk to the grocery store. And so one thing that you'll notice as you're exploring master plan communities here in the Houston area is ideally they're far enough along where the commercial amenities are already in. Now, that wasn't the case when we purchased, but we believed in the long-term vision, and ultimately it's come to fruition. If you look out the window right here, my office is actually a prime example of the commercial that's been developed. This is a brand new 3-story executive suites building right at the front of my neighborhood. I can literally walk to it, ride my bike to it, golf cart to it, or drive to it. And so that is just one of the many commercial amenities we have here. We've got Dick's Sporting Goods right at the front of our neighborhood. We've got a Kroger marketplace that's basically a massive grocery store if you're not familiar with Kroger. And then you've got all of your restaurants. You even have some bars popping up. You've got below us, you actually have an indoor bar golf simulator. And so we probably spent too much time there as a team, but it's great. And so you can just come up here. They even have a Tuesday night league for guys and girls to come up and play, golf in the golf simulator against each other. And so it really is just this kind of mind-blowing convenience that a lot of people aren't thinking about when they're looking to move, but I'll tell you this, once you've tasted it, it is very difficult to give it up. I really don't see us being able to move because we've grown accustomed to being able to hop, in the golf cart and drive up to the Mexican food place that's right below us, grab a margarita, grab a bite to eat, and then, head back home. So that is reason number 3, is the convenience of all of the commercial amenities. All right, now our fourth reason for moving to Grand Central Park is gonna be the residential amenities. Now, as I mentioned, these master plan communities really can hang their hat on the amenities that they bring to the table, and every single neighborhood is gonna have a slightly different set of amenities. But let me tell you what I love about Grand Central Park. So in the scheme of master plan neighborhoods, Grand Central Park actually isn't that massive. You're gonna have a lot larger communities all around. You've got Wood Forest, which is about 15 minutes away, and it's gonna be more than double the size. And so I actually like the smaller, more intimate feel that Grand Central Park has to offer, especially since we got out here early on. There weren't a ton of people out here, and so the amenities weren't built yet, but eventually they built our amenity center complex. I believe it's a 13-acre complex. It's located right up near Grand Lake, which is the big 88-acre lake. And they also built a new man-made paddle lake for paddleboarding. So they've got paddleboarding, and up at your amenity center, you're gonna find everything you could want in a master plan neighborhood. You've got a gym that's open 4 a.m. till 11 p.m., 7 days a week with key fob access only. Then you've got your events space that you can rent out up there. It's air conditioned, it's very nice. You've got a back patio that overlooks Paddle Lake as well as Grand Lake. And then you're gonna have a little coffee bar in there as well. They have a lot of the community events up at the community center. And then right next door, you're gonna notice a massive resort style pool. It's got a couple lap lanes in it. It's got a lazy river that goes around, and it's got plenty of shade. It is very hot here, especially at the time we're filming this video. So they've got these massive umbrellas, and it's just a great place to not only meet your neighbors, but to cool off in the summer. There are also plans for a splash pad. It's not built yet at the time of filming this video, but it's in the works, and we're really looking forward to that, having a place for the kids to cool off without us having to jump in the pool. They're also gonna have multiple parks, and so as it stands right now, they've got 2 playground parks. They've got one over in West Village, which is the original village, and then the new one that we call the Tower of Terror, because it's this massive tower structure right up near the pool. But you got swings, and then you got multiple dog parks. You've got big dog parks, little dog parks, located in different locations throughout the neighborhood. And so these are just some of the residential amenities that I personally like. We also have the pavilion, which is a great place for community events. And then you're gonna have pickleball coming in. They're building Kinetic Park. It's having sand volleyball courts and a basketball court. So it seems like they just keep adding new and new amenities here to the neighborhood. And as of right now, all of them are still, they're private. They're residents only amenities. And so it just makes it really nice. We've got amazing hike and bike trails. Some of the best, actually, I'll just go ahead and say it, the best out of any neighborhood in the entire Houston area. We've got the best trails right here in Grand Central Park. You've got 3 different types. You've got paved, that are more like sidewalks in the neighborhood, so moms pushing their strollers, that's gonna be your best bet. And then you've got these crushed gravel paths that run through the woods. It's called the Grander Trail. And then you go even further back behind the lake, and we don't even have footage of it, I don't think, because it's so rugged, but they've got dirt trails that were the old Boy Scout trails that run behind some of the bigger lakes. So it's basically as frisky as you wanna get in your exploration, you can get that right here in Grand Central Park. Okay, reason number 5 that we moved out here, and we had a hunch, we couldn't guarantee this, but we were betting that there were gonna be really good neighbors in this neighborhood. And what I mean by that is, in our experience in our 5 years here, we have fallen in love with the people that live in this neighborhood. And you could probably fall in love with people anywhere, that's true, but there is something to be said about the fact that when you buy in a new construction neighborhood, a lot of people are in that same season of life as you. And I'm not saying everyone in Grand Central Park's the same age or even in the same season of life, but with more and more people moving in, when you have all these amenities and you have these newer homes, you're gonna have a lot of young families moving into the neighborhood. And that's what's happened here, at least in our experience, and we've made amazing friends. And so we really love it. We're in, and I've said this in some of our other videos, I'm in a group text with over 30 of the husbands here in the neighborhood. We're always helping each other out, helping each other, you know, if their grandma needs to move, we all chip in and we help out. Whatever it is, everybody's borrowing stuff from one another. It's just a super friendly neighborhood feel. And a lot of that comes from meeting people at neighborhood events. So that's one thing that master plan neighborhoods are good about, is facilitating community. And so you definitely have that here. We have 15 kids on our street. We just had our second kid this past week, and we had our son. So we've got a daughter and a son, and we've got 15 kids on our street. So I know they're gonna grow up with that experience that I always wanted for them, to be able to play and hang out with their friends on our street. So that was reason number 5, is great neighbors. Okay, reason number 6 that we moved here, and I kind of touched on it earlier, is proximity to the Woodlands. Now, when you're researching what the best suburb in the entire country is, the Woodlands is ranked number 1. And so what I love about Grand Central Park is, because of the proximity to the Woodlands, I get all of the pros of living in the Woodlands without having to live in an older home, without having to sit in the traffic, and that's pretty much the only cons of the Woodlands. And so I get to live right off the freeway in a brand new construction home, and I have access to all that. And so if you're not familiar with the Woodlands, they've got really cool places. You've got Market Street, which is this really nice outdoor shopping area. We love to go up there, let the kids run around in the turf, and ultimately just go shopping, have a coffee, maybe eat some dinner. And then you're also gonna have Hughes Landing, which is like Restaurant Row. That's where your nicer restaurants are. You've got True Luxe, you've got some others up there right on Lake Woodlands. It's just very nice and pretty. You've got multiple parks in the Woodlands. Not that you need them, because you have them right here in the neighborhood. Rarely do I find us going to the Woodlands for parks, but they're there. But yeah, really just being able to go to the Woodlands for shopping, for clothing, go to the Woodlands Mall, which is massive. Not that you can't online shop these days, but if you need to go to the store, you've got them about 10 minutes away. So that was reason number 6 for us, was proximity to the Woodlands. Also, one more thing on that. The Woodlands has the best restaurants in the entire Houston area. And so for what Conroe may lack in, fine dining or higher end restaurants, you're a 10, 15-minute drive to the best restaurants in the entire Houston area. Okay, reason number 7 that we moved here is we wanted new construction. And as I mentioned, we were looking at the Woodlands and there's no new construction. And I mean, no new construction. And so that kind of frustrated us. And once we found out that they were building new homes so close to the Woodlands and we really started to learn about Grand Central Park, we fell in love. We're on our second home here in the neighborhood. We initially bought a townhome that was very affordable, about 1,800 square feet, 3 bedrooms, and it got us out here in the neighborhood. It got us connecting with families. And at that stage in our lives, it was exactly what we needed. And then once we had our first kid and we needed more space, then we had the option to stay in the neighborhood and we built our dream home. And let me tell you, I don't want to brag, but we built our dream home. We were able to wait for the perfect pie-shaped cul-de-sac lot in the back of the neighborhood that backs up to the woods, that's got plenty of room for a pool, which we eventually built. And it's got all the space that we could possibly need to grow. And since then, we've filled our home. We've been in about 2 years and it is exactly what we wanted. And so we have that more modern stylistic home. We've got the real wood floors and kind of the black and white color palette that you're not going to be able to get if you don't go that new construction route. And so for us, that was reason number 7, was we really wanted a new construction home. And you can still get that at the time shooting this video. We still have about 2 years left of them building new construction homes. And then at that point, you'll still have the option to purchase a resale home that's still very new. And so you've got both options. You can purchase a new construction home or a resale home right here in the neighborhood. Okay, reason number 8, and this one might sound silly if you haven't experienced it, but reason number 8 that we moved out here is we wanted to have a golf cart. And so we wanted to have a golf cart and have the ability to drive around, ride up to the pool, take a nice, evening drive in the golf cart and go up to the restaurants. And so we have one and we love it. And so when we moved out here, we actually got one pretty early on before our daughter, and we didn't use it all of that much. But not too long ago, we ended up purchasing another golf cart. We were golf cartless for about a year and we survived. But we really had forgotten what we were missing. It's very convenient. You'll see 50% of your neighbors out here have golf carts and they'll be cruising around 4th of July. They'll have like a 4th of July cart decorating parade. And so it's just a really cool way to cruise around, like I said, up to the parks, to the pool, over to friends' house for parties, especially if your friends are gonna have birthday parties out here. Parking isn't that great here in the neighborhood. It just isn't. I'll say that's probably the one con of living out here, is the streets are pretty narrow. And so you can just hop in your golf cart and drive over to your buddy's house. And so it's really great. So that was reason number 8. We love the golf carts. We love coming up here. Like, how funny is this? I get to put my golf clubs on my golf cart and drive to the golf simulator bar in the neighborhood. I'm spoiled rotten, I know it, but you could too if you buy a home here. So anyways, that's reason number 8. It's golf cart friendly. Reason number 9 that we really like the location here is because you're right in between the Woodlands, as I mentioned, and Lake Conroe. And if you're not familiar with Lake Conroe, it's a 21,000 acre, very recreationally friendly lake. It's got tons of restaurants on it. And so in the summer, it is a great way to cool off. Now, at this moment in time, we don't have a boat just because of where we're at with our little ones. But whenever I moved here, I actually had a boat and it was great for bass fishing. If you like to bass fish, it's a tough lake, but it's not too far away. And then it's also really a great lake if you like wake surfing or you just want to cruise on the pontoon and go out to the party cove. And so you got tons of options with Lake Conroe, and it's about a 15-minute drive to the boat ramp from Grand Central Park to the closest boat ramp on Lake Conroe. Obviously there's more, but that is one of the things that we really, really loved, was having that proximity to the lake. There's not a lot of Houston suburbs that have close proximity to a lake. You really only have 3 major lakes here in Houston, and Lake Conroe is going to be the most recreationally friendly and closest lake with the most amenities on it. So for all those reasons, it's really nice to be 15 minutes away from Lake Conroe. Hey, real quick, before we cruise on to our next point, I just want to let you know, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our channel and tap that bell for notifications. That way we can keep you updated on everything going on right here in Houston. My name is Kyler Ferris. I'm the broker owner of Ferris Realty, and we really do get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you looking to move here to Houston. So if that is you, don't be shy. Give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us a quick email. We would love to help you make a smooth move right here to Houston. And if you really want to get in touch with us quickly, click on that survey link below in the comments. It's a pinned comment. If you click that, fill that out real quick. It takes 2 seconds. A member of our team will reach out immediately. Okay, and reason number 10 that we moved out here, and this really was something I kind of figured out on the back end. I had heard about it, but it's really been a blessing to us, is the community events. So there is a full-time director of fun that is, on full-time salary by the HOA, and her whole job is to plan neighborhood events for you and for me and for my family. And so if you live out here, you've got access to the full events calendar. Most of them are free. And when I'm talking about events, I'm talking no joke events. Starting back when we moved out here, one of the first events we went to in the early days was a full Thanksgiving feast. It was completely free. It was catered. There were probably 100 neighbors there with a full open bar with servers, with waiters. So they don't slouch when it comes to community events. One of my other favorite ones for the adults was they had a casino night where I think it was $15 to go. Once again, open bar, and they brought in professional dealers for craps, blackjack, roulette, you name it. We were able to play these fun games with our neighbors. It's like a 3-4 hour event. And then at the end, whoever had the most chips got to get raffle tickets and won prizes like TVs and kayaks and Yeti coolers. And it was a really cool time. They're also gonna have a lot of fun stuff for the kids. They have story time, read-alongs. They've got, the Easter Bunny or photos with Santa. And so once again, just by going to these neighborhood events, you're gonna have a leg up on if you were to go move to some resale neighborhood where everyone's been there for 30 years and they're content and they already know each other. Here in Grand Central Park, it's different. People want to connect. And if you don't want to, cool, don't go to the events. But if you want to connect, that opportunity is here for you through these awesome community events. Not only I don't want to sell this as just a young person community, we just happen to be in that stage of life. My mother and my mother-in-law both live here in the neighborhood. And my mother, I would say, isn't too involved in neighborhood activities. And my mother-in-law goes to the water aerobics in the mornings, Pilates or whatever they do. I don't even know. And then she goes on, walks with other women in the neighborhood. They play mahjong. I think that's how you say it. And so anyways, no matter what season of life you're in, they have community meetups specifically tailored to meet your needs and help facilitate community. So that's reason number 10 that I absolutely love living here. Now that's just 10 reasons that I love it here, but I could go on and on and on. And so if this interests you at all and you think that this would scratch the itch for exactly what you're looking for in your family's next move, like it has for me and my family, then you know what to do. Reach out. Click on that survey link below. A member of our team will reach out immediately. Our office is in the neighborhood. We know it better than anyone. And so if you are thinking about making a move to Grand Central Park, I promise you, you can't go wrong by reaching out to us. We've got great relationships with every single builder out here. There's not a builder that we haven't sold with. And so ultimately, we can promise you that if you work with our team, we're gonna answer all of your questions, give you an amazingly smooth experience, and get you the best deal on a home here in Grand Central Park. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps you. Reach out to us, and we will see you guys in the next video.